oftentimes, like in the research, we know that, what people will say about themselves is not always true. But the thing is the more somebody says that negative thing about themselves, the more they tend to believe it. If you can say something that's not true about yourself negatively, guess what? The same thing holds true if you're saying something positive about yourself. People that practice affirmations, regardless of whether they're true right now in their life or not, it could be something that they just want to believe about themselves and see come to pass. It significantly raises your chances of being successful in this area or becoming the thing that you're telling yourself about yourself, even if it's not true right now. Welcome to Integrative Approaches in Healthier Living, a collaboration of Living Life Now and Bush Health Coaching, where we have conversations for living well. Hey guys, welcome back into our channel, Integrative Approaches in Healthier Living. My name is Coach Chris, and I am here with
Tammy Tomlinson.
So today we want to get back into and touch on a little bit more SMART goals. And Tammy has some really cool things that I guess we can play show and tell with Tammy today because she brought some cool things with us to show. But we didn't want to do the typical, New Year's, talk about weight loss, talk about, resistance training, talk about cardio or whatever it is. We wanted to really focus on things that can actually help you in taking your New Year's resolution and making it more long-term. Something that becomes, as Tammy well put whenever we were talking about it, a way of life. So Tammy, you want to take it a little bit from here?
Of course. So welcome in. And yeah, so as we, for many years, I have done, as I'm sure a lot of us have. And, if you want to leave us a comment in the chats and let us know if you do these types of things, intentions, affirmations, whether you do it at the beginning of a new year when your birthday comes around, or just at some point at any time in your life when you're like, you know what? I think I want to redirect my focus and my attention and put it on something more positive, more intentional, then these are some good tips. So, Chris, a couple of things are I made, some notes here, intentions, affirmations. A lot of times, I'll create a word for the year that's kind of like my focus.
Right,
In the past, it's been creativity when I've been
right,
wanting to be more creative in my approach to things.
right,
Creating a vision board, and
right.
also, the infamous that we've talked about, journaling, right? So,
Yep.
real quick on the vision board, this was a gift that I got yesterday from one of my friends, and it's a vision board kit that I will be unveiling in a future video. So you can tune back in for that video. I will obviously be
Maybe we
linking
can show
everything
people
together for
some,
us to make it
like
easier.
unboxing stuff with this video, right?
Say that again.
I said maybe we can show some of those people, as we're going through this video, like some of the unboxing, like of
Of course
the
we
different
can. Of course
pieces
we
of that.
can.
Yeah. So that could be
Yeah.
cool too.
So just trying to, well, let's just jump right in since that was what we're talking about. But it's a really cool box kit here. It's got the cork board in it, and it has like affirmation cards already. It's a little card deck, and it says the top one says, "I am calm and at peace." And if I could open them all up, but then there's also another cute little card deck. But what the best part is here, keeping in line with journaling, this little kit actually comes with a like a workbook, and it has questions that you can answer and space to even fill it out in this handy book to help you craft and create what your vision board could include for your particular time in life, whether it's the year or it's, you could even do this just for a, a specific, like if you're looking for a new job, right? You could create a vision board.
Jamie, are you looking for a new job? Like the last two times you brought up like the new job, a new
I am
house.
not,
Are
I
you looking for a
currently
new
am
house and a
not.
new job?
Gratefully, I'm very happy with my job, but I know many people that are. So,
Right.
and it's a struggle for some, right? It's like
Yeah, absolutely.
they're
Absolutely.
not happy for whatever reason in their current place of employment.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, and all of this does tie back into our SMART goals, right? Because
Yeah.
it's everything's intertwined in life, and this is no different. But it whatever it is that you may be seeking, searching, wanting to improve, yeah, a vision board can be helpful for that. And places like Canva, they have electronic vision boards, and you can go in and pick and choose what you want, and it's electronic, and then you can use it as a screensaver on your computer. You can use it as a screensaver on your phone. If you're so inclined, you can print it out, and then you have this nice little 8 by 10 vision board. But how I
Right.
had made my previous ones is on a poster board. That's a vision board, kind of like probably a little bit long-winded, but in a nutshell, more or less a vision board. But I really like the intentions and affirmations. I know we've chatted about that previously. And obviously journaling. So Chris, what are your thoughts and ideas on this concept, topic,
Right.
thought, desire?
Well, I really want to quickly touch on the intentions and affirmations because, well, people do these things already. They just don't, they're generally not consciously aware of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Uh-huh. Yeah,
so,
you're absolutely right.
yes, absolutely. But oftentimes, unfortunately, when people do these things, they're negatively reinforcing certain things about themselves. So oftentimes, like in the research, we know that what people will say about themselves is not always true. But the thing is the more somebody says that negative thing about themselves, the more they tend to believe it, even if it's not true. And I'm sure all of us like have certain things that are part of our lives that we've, or certain circumstances in our life where we can relate to this, where we've said something, we've gotten angry with ourselves, we've messed up, and we'll say, things like, "Oh, I'm a failure," or be
Mm,
upset with our performance and speak
mm-hmm.
negatively about that performance. Well, the thing about it is that we know that, well, if you can say something that's not true about yourself negatively, guess what? The same thing holds true if you're saying something positive about yourself. And this is where, again, just strictly the research comes in. We know that people that practice affirmations, regardless of whether they're true right now in their life or not, it could be something that they just want to believe about themselves and see come to pass. It significantly raises your chances of being successful in this area or becoming the thing that you're telling yourself about yourself, even if it's not true right now. So that's a really cool fact. What works negatively also works positively, regardless of whether it's true. And again, we know that by the research in regards to affirmations. So affirmations are a great tool to really help build towards habits. They like make you far more likely to sometimes stick to those actionable habits on the path to becoming the thing that you truly want to be or attaining the thing that you truly want to have. But the big thing I want to really come back and touch on is Tammy's vision board and also journaling because journaling is super, super powerful. And I would challenge you, like, what way right now do you have that you are taking every single day, maybe for just 5 minutes, maybe for 10 minutes, and touching base with yourself on, well, what's important to you? Because if you're not taking a conscious effort or making a conscious effort to touch base with yourself, like, say, through journaling or a vision board, well, life always gets in the way, and most of us, unfortunately, approach life like, what's the next fire? What's the next problem that needs to be solved? And so much of life's problems are glaring us in the face, and it's easy to forget the things that we want and the things that we're trying to do when we're facing down things in life. And so, journaling is and a vision board are extremely powerful tools to help us say, like, in the midst of the storm when things are going on, keep our hands on the wheel and keep us focused on the other parts of the ship, so to speak. And so journaling, it's a something, a powerful tool. Vision board is a powerful tool I often use in my coaching, especially journaling, because it really is a game changer. Honestly, if I could get somebody journaling all of the time around their goals, eventually I'm not going to have to work with them anymore, in regards to them maintaining their goals. I might have to step, I can probably take a step back if they still want me around as an expert in certain areas, but they'll become their own coach. They'll be focused on things in their life. They'll be not allowing themselves to bury their head in the sand, and they'll be figuring out just by taking that time to just have a discussion with themselves, write it down. They'll literally kind of become like what I do in my job for themselves. What am I doing today? Even a little bit towards my goals, and what what are my big goals? Like how do my actions and my small goals, like my measurable goals, play into those actions? Are they relevant? Are they time bound? Is it this something that is realistic for me? So these types of things can easily be retouched on, written down in a journal. They don't need to be adjusted every day, but they should be reviewed every day, because that will help that person, or it will help you take a big step forward towards holding yourself accountable and reminding yourself, regardless of what's going on, what small steps am I going to do every day towards these things that matter to me. Tammy, Tammy, Tammy.
So I'm going to continue with the thought process on the intentions and affirmations, and take it a step further, because and to your point, like so many times I encounter people, friends, people I'm working with, just random people on the street, right? They're like, "Oh, I suck at this," or "I can never do blah right," or anything with that negative connotation that you were referencing.
Right.
And I would challenge people to find if you really feel like life is blah and you want to make a change. I would challenge listeners to tap into somebody that they know and trust and value their opinions, to say, "Hey, can you let me know, excuse me, can you let me know when you hear me say something negative about myself?" And then you can stop and think about how to reframe what you've said into a positive statement, so that our brains can then start to shift us from the failure mentality to the, "Oh wow, I am worthy. I am happy. I am successful."
I have a question for you, or at
Yes,
least
please.
a thought on this. Maybe a thought on this before we move forward. Maybe we should get into, like next time, like our next taping, we should talk a little bit more on the perfectionism thing, come back to that a little bit more, talk a little bit more about all or nothing, you know, and some of these topics that really fit into, and maybe reframing, because reframing is thoughts, or how could we reframe something, is powerful. And speaking to having that partner, in the journey, it's really, really a good idea to, have somebody and trust, that you can take some of these like negative thoughts and say, are these true about me? And if they are true, what are your observations, and how, and yeah, I'm willing to learn. So please share with me like how you feel this fits. Maybe through your eyes, what could I do better? And then also taking that and then coming back and being like, okay, how, if this is something I've noticed, I feel like how can, and then start establishing goals around those things.
So continuing with the thought process of intentions and affirmations, right, where we're working on reframing our thoughts and ideas. I think that's where sometimes our word of the year can be beneficial in the fact that once we are able to sit down and journal and think clearly about what it is that we want to be working on, whatever that true core intention is, and you can find the word that encompasses that.
I would just say, like, to you guys, like, we have several great videos on journaling. We have, you know, also great videos on affirmations. We don't want to like dive too deep on this, but these can be extremely helpful tools at keeping, you know, you motivated and keeping you focused on your goals. Especially, you know, once you have to start working again, it's easy to make those New Year's resolutions when you've been on holiday for 2 weeks, and you know, work's not there, kids aren't like coming and going, starting sports back in school, all of those things. So these are powerful tools to keep you focused. And I think really that's it, as far as I'm concerned, Tammy.
I agree, and I hope and pray that this video, this content, our content is helpful, and that you're able to glean a lot of insightful information that is beneficial to each and every one of the listeners out there. And we just love and appreciate you. And leave us a comment. Let us know if any of this resonates with you as we continue to move forward in our journey together. And as always, Chris, I'm grateful to be with you on this journey of life. And yeah, I'm just grateful. And that's not going to be my word of the year. It's been my word before, but it's a really cool word to use if somebody isn't seeking of one. Just a thought.
Absolutely. Well, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for checking out our channel.
Much love to you all. Be well.
Ciao.